All right, so everyone's been talking about this Mavericks Pelicans game from February 21st, 2025.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the one where they were just going back and forth,
Right.
dropping buckets like crazy.
It definitely felt like a playoff atmosphere, even though it was just a regular season game.
Okay.
And yeah, from the Hoops Talk podcast that we're looking at today, it sounds like it totally lived up to the hype.
So, playoff implications aside, what made this game so special?
Well, first off, you got that superstar duel,
Oh, yeah.
Luka versus Zion, which is always
Always a good one.
must-see TV. But the Hoops Talk guys were saying what really made this game a must-watch was the role players.
Okay.
On both sides.
Oh, wow.
Like, they really stepped up big time.
I love it when the supporting cast gets a chance to shine.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about that first quarter.
Yeah.
It was a shootout, right?
Total offensive explosion from the jump.
Wow.
Both teams came out firing.
Okay.
And Luka was, Luka.
So business as usual for him.
Pretty much.
Dropping dimes, hitting those ridiculous step backs.
Yeah, exact. But the thing is, the Hoops Talk guys were pointing out that it wasn't just the scoring.
Oh, okay.
He was drawing so much attention from the defense.
Right.
Setting up wide open looks for Kyrie and Derrick Jones Jr.
Okay.
It was a true floor general performance.
That's what I love about Luka, though. You know,
Yeah.
he elevates everyone around him.
Absolutely.
But the Pelicans weren't just going to roll over, were they?
Not at all. Zion was a monster in the paint.
Okay.
It was like the Mavericks had no answer for his power.
Wow.
He was just bullying his way to the basket.
So we've got Luka orchestrating the offense for the Mavs and Zion just dominating down low for the Pelicans.
Right.
So far, it sounds like a classic duel.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone else making noise in that first quarter?
CJ McCollum was having a really solid quarter for the Pelicans.
Okay.
Hitting those mid-range jumpers that he's known for.
Right.
But here's the thing. Despite all that firepower on display,
Yeah.
the quarter ended with the Mavericks up by just 2 points, 30-28.
2 points.
Yeah.
That's setting us up for a nail biter.
Oh, for sure.
So what happened in the second quarter?
Yeah.
Did the role players really steal the show, like you were saying?
They did.
Really?
They really did. On the Mavericks side, it was Derrick Jones Jr. who really stood out.
Okay, so tell me more about his impact.
Was he scoring a bunch? Or
Yeah, what was he doing?
Actually, it was mostly on the defensive end.
Oh, okay.
The Hoops Talk guys were raving about his energy.
Okay.
He was disrupting passing lanes, forcing turnovers,
Oh.
just being an absolute menace on defense.
I love those guys.
Yeah.
Those energy guys who just spark the team.
Oh, for sure.
So what about the Pelicans?
Mm-hmm.
Who were their unsung heroes in that second quarter?
For the Pelicans, it was Daniel Gafford.
Okay.
This guy was all over the court, blocking shots, hustling for rebounds.
Wow.
And then, bam,
Okay.
he throws down this insane putback dunk.
Oh, wow.
The whole arena was on their feet.
That's what you love to see.
Right.
Gafford really stepping up and making those hustle plays.
Yeah, the Hoops Talk guys were saying his energy was infectious.
I bet.
It definitely got the team going.
So was it all Gafford for the Pelicans in that second quarter, or
Well,
did anyone else make an impact?
Brendan Ingram started to heat up.
Okay.
Went on an 8-point run.
Nice.
Reminding everyone about that smooth jumper of his.
Yeah.
And of course, you can never forget Jose Alvarado.
Oh, yeah.
The guy was a whirlwind off the bench.
Okay.
Hounding the Mavericks ball handlers, even sang a deep three to tie the game at one point.
Alvarado's energy is something else.
It really is.
He's always bringing that intensity.
Yeah, no matter what.
Okay, so at the half, where did we stand?
All right.
Was it still anyone's game?
Absolutely. The Mavericks had a slim 4-point lead, 58-54,
Okay.
but the game was hanging in the balance.
Wow.
You could sense the anticipation building for the second half,
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was waiting for that Luka Zion showdown to really heat up.
I bet.
Yeah, it was going to be good.
So we left off at halftime.
Yeah,
Mavs cleaning to a 4-point lead.
right,
Now, the third quarter is where things get really interesting.
right?
Luka versus Zion, mano a mano.
It was like watching two totally different styles of basketball just collide.
Yeah.
The Hoops Talk podcast was describing it as a clash of the titans.
So give me the breakdown. What were some of the key moments in that third quarter duel?
Well, Luka was doing what Luka does best,
Yeah.
hitting those signature step-back threes over Herb Jones.
Oh, yeah.
And the Hoops Talk guys were pointing out how Herb Jones is a top defender in the league,
Right.
but even he couldn't contain Luka's creativity.
Luka's got that uncanny ability to create space for himself.
He does.
Even against the best defenders, it's like he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
Exactly. And then there was this one ridiculous one-legged fadeaway jumper he hit.
Oh, wow.
Pure artistry.
The man is a walking highlight reel.
He is
What about Zion? How was he responding to Luka's offensive onslaught?
Zion was relentless.
Okay.
The Hoops Talk guys were comparing him to like a freight train going downhill.
Wow.
Every time he touched the ball, it felt like a poster dunk was about to happen.
Oh, I bet the crowd was going wild every time he got near the basket.
Oh, they were.
Yeah.
And then it happened, that massive one-handed slam over Gafford.
Oh, my
The
God.
Hoops Talk guys were saying it was a contender for Dunk of the Year.
Okay, that's a moment I need to go back and watch.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got Luka showcasing his skill and finesse.
Right.
Zion showcasing his raw power and athleticism.
Yeah.
Is anyone else contributing in a meaningful way in that third quarter?
Kyrie Irving started to find his rhythm in the third.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Hoops Talk guys were talking about how his game just complements Luka's so perfectly. They can both take over a game,
Right?
but they're also willing to defer to each other when the situation calls for it.
That dynamic duo is something special.
It really is.
It's like they're always reading each other's minds.
Yeah.
What were some of Kyrie's standout plays in that quarter?
He had this one classic spino move into a floater.
Okay.
Just left the defenders grasping at air.
Wow.
And then there was a beautiful alley-oop pass to Gafford that nearly blew the roof off the arena.
So Luka and Kyrie are clicking. Zion's putting on a show of his own.
Yeah.
Were the Pelicans able to keep up with Mavs' firepower?
Believe it or not, they were.
Really?
Yeah, despite Luka and Kyrie having huge quarters,
Yeah.
the Pelicans fought tooth and nail.
Wow.
And they were only down by 4 points heading into the fourth quarter.
4 points, man. This game is living up to the hype.
It is.
So the fourth quarter clutch time where legends are made. What happened?
Hold on to your hats, because the fourth quarter is where the drama really unfolded.
Okay.
The Hoops Talk guys were saying the tension in the arena was so thick you could cut it with a knife.
Wow.
It was intense.
So set the scene for me. What were the key moments that had everyone on the edge of their seats?
Okay, so with 5 minutes left in the game,
Yeah.
it was a one-possession difference.
Oh, wow.
Every single play felt monumental.
I bet.
And that's when Kyrie Irving took over.
Okay.
He hit this ice-cold step-back three with 2 minutes left, followed by another tough fadeaway jumper.
Man, Kyrie in clutch time is something else.
He's unreal.
It's like he's immune to pressure.
Yeah, the Hoops Talk guys were comparing him to like a cold-blooded assassin out there.
But the Pelicans weren't giving up, were they?
No way.
Go.
Brandon Ingram answered Kyrie's heroics with a deep two-pointer.
Okay.
And then, with less than a minute left on the clock,
Yeah.
Zion muscles his way inside for an and one,
Wow.
tying the game at 110.
The arena must have been going absolutely bonkers at that point.
The Hoops Talk guys were saying it was the loudest they'd heard an arena all season.
Oh, my God.
And then, with the game on the line, with the clock ticking down, Luka happened.
Right. I knew it was coming, but tell me anyway. Give me the play-by-play of that game-winning shot.
Okay, so Luka dribbled out the clock, sized up Herb Jones.
Yeah.
And with a step back that would make James Harden proud, launched a three-pointer from the left wing.
Okay.
The ball hung in the air for what felt like an eternity.
Oh, my God.
And then switched game over Mavericks 117, Pelicans 112.
I can only imagine the eruption in the arena after that shot.
Oh, yeah, it was deafening.
Luka magic indeed.
For sure.
So we had superstar duels, role players stepping up,
Yep,
a nail-biting finish.
absolutely.
What were some of the key takeaways that the Hoops Talk guys highlighted?
Well, they were really impressed by the resilience of both teams. You know, even when they were down, they never gave up. They kept fighting back, making big plays on both ends of the court.
Okay.
But I think one of the biggest takeaways was the performance of the Mavericks supporting cast.
Yeah, we talked about Derek Jones Jr. and Josh Green having big moments.
Yeah.
Did anyone else stand out to the Hoops Talk guys?
They gave a shout out to Maxi Kleber for his defense on Zion.
Oh, okay.
He didn't shut Zion down completely,
Right.
but he made him work for every basket.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Hoops Talk guys were saying Kleber's physicality and toughness were key in slowing down Zion's momentum.
That's interesting because you often hear about how difficult it is to guard Zion one-on-one.
Right.
It sounds like Kleber's performance was a big factor in this game.
It definitely was. They also talked about how the Pelicans, despite the loss,
Yeah.
proved they can hang with the best teams in the league.
Okay.
You know, Zion Williamson is a force of nature.
Oh, yeah?
And with guys like Ingram and McCollum hitting shots,
Right.
they're a tough team to beat.
So the Mavericks solidified their contender status, and the Pelicans showed they're not to be overlooked.
Right.
What a game.
It was a good one.
But I'm curious, did the Hoops Talk guys have a definitive answer to the MVP question? Was it Luka with the game winner or Zion with his dominant performance?
Interestingly enough, they didn't pick a single MVP.
Really?
They said it was a testament to how incredible both players were. They even threw Kyrie into the mix,
Oh, okay.
highlighting his clutch plays down the
Yeah.
stretch.
I love that they left it open for debate.
Yeah,
It's a reminder that basketball is a team sport, and sometimes it's impossible to single out one player.
absolutely. But they did say this game could have significant implications for the MVP race down the line.
Oh, intriguing. So they're saying this one game could sway the voters.
That's their take.
That's how impactful it was.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Wow. It'll be interesting to see how this game factors into the MVP conversation as the season progresses.
For sure.